Today is International Overdose Day. The goal is to reduce drug overdose deaths and fight the stigma associated with overdoses.
Today is also meant to raise awareness and educate people about overdose prevention. Right now, the DEA is warning of a new trend in illegal drugs coming across the border from Mexico. Rainbow fentanyl.
Yeah, the rainbow colored tablets started showing up at Arizona ports of entry a few weeks ago. Customs and Border Protection recently seizing more than 15,000 of these multicolored pills at the Nogales port of entry. What CBP started seeing a few weeks ago is already being seen on the streets of Tucson. That has TPD very concerned because they're designed to appeal to a younger crowd.
It's just another notch up in what cartels are trying to do to make money, and it puts more and more children at risk. If you see a bag of these colored pills, it's appealing. It's the kind of thing that instinctively makes you want to grab a handful. So it's very dangerous, and it's the biggest threat that we have today.
More on this disturbing trend of rainbow fentanyl and just how quickly the DEA says it's spreading across the country. That's coming up new at 6.
And speaking of the popularity of the rainbow fentanyl pills, we wanted to get a little more perspective on what's being seen on the streets here in Tucson. I spoke to Andrino Garcia, a recovering addict who's the director at the Victory Outreach Men's Home. He says this drug has had a huge impact on how many people actually want to get clean.
You know, I've seen how fentanyl has changed our streets. It's changed even the young people that we come in and that we try to help, because it's so cheap, it's hard for them to want to get right because they can live on the streets and still make it happen.
Garcia told me about the men that he's seen walk through the door at Victory Outreach looking for help, who are taking 15 to 30 of these pills a day. We will have more from my conversation with him tonight at 6 p.m.
The danger of rainbow fentanyl reaches people who never intended to take drugs.
9 on your side's Craig Smith has more on the special threat the colored pills could bring to the very young.
You know, even illegal drug dealers look for ways for their product to stand out, but think how a collection of brightly colored pills might look to a toddler who finds them. Dr. Steve Dudley leads the Arizona Poison and Drug Information Center. He does not think brightly colored fentanyl has much attraction to teens and adults who deliberately use the pills. But if someone was careless enough to leave the brightly colored pills where a curious toddler could find them, it would be even more dangerous in its own way than ordinary fentanyl.
It definitely could be. It definitely does not help the issue that we're facing right now. I think when we talk about M30s or your traditional fentanyl contaminated or fentanyl laced pills here, those are already bright blue. They already have that chalky look. They already look like candy that kids could get into. And so this is just kind of furthering along down that pathway.
Fentanyl is powerful enough to kill adults in small doses. It's usually added into counterfeit drugs, so users don't really know fentanyl is what they're taking. Dr. Dudley says so far he has not seen any local cases of overdoses with rainbow fentanyl, but it's hard to know unless there are rainbow pills found at the scene, the person survives to say what he's taken, or once in the body, all fentanyl looks the same to a drug test or an autopsy.